Hello, my dear friends, this is day 1080 of the Russian war against the civilized world. Keith Kellogg suggested doubling down the US sanctions against Russia. Ukrainian defenders intercepted a gliding bomb for the very first time, and donkeys enlist in the Russian army. Sweet Lord, sometimes I just feel truly awkward reading those headlines for you, my friends. I mean, at times it's just too cringy, but then it's Russia. Anyways, let's talk about all these updates right now. Let's start with the updates from the Russian military airbase Primorsko-Akhtarsk in the Krasnodar region. This airbase is known to every Ukrainian for a very long time as a launch base for the Russian kamikaze drones. Basically, every single night Russians use it to launch the drones at Ukrainian cities and civilian infrastructure. The good news is the base was finally hit yesterday night. We don't know much details on this, besides some footage showing the slight smoking over the base, but hopefully soon we will receive a detailed update from the General Staff of Ukraine. Another slight smoking was reported simultaneously in the same Krasnodarsk region at the Russian oil storage Albashneft. The governor reported that all Ukrainian drones were intercepted, but unfortunately the high-precision debris managed to hit the oil tanks, causing, that's right, the slight smoking. The US envoy to Ukraine, General Keith Kellogg, in his interview to the Post admitted that the US President Trump is ready to double down on Russian sanctions. According to Mr. Kellogg, the sanctions enforcement on Russia is currently on about a 3 on a scale of 1 to 10. The US sanctions, like those targeting the Russian energy sector, are twice as high, but they can still be increased. Mr. Kellogg said that President Trump is fully aware of this possibility to introduce bigger sanctions against Russia in order to force it to negotiate a ceasefire with Ukraine. What is the situation in Russia as far as oil and fuel? According to the Moscow Times, in December 2024, the fuel prices in Moscovia raised by 11%, while in most distant Russian regions, the cost raised by almost a quarter. One of the reasons is increased strikes on the Russian refineries and oil storages that led to decrease of fuel production in Moscovia by almost 1/5, which, by the way, was reported only last year when Ukraine didn't have as much drones as today. As a result, Russian government decided to classify all the data regarding the amount of oil production in the country. According to estimations, the fuel cost in Russia grows faster than its inflation rate for the very first time in 6 years. In case of a pessimistic scenario, the fuel prices in Russia may raise by 20% in 2025. Can Russia withstand the double-down sanctions against its energy sector? Of course it can. I mean, everything is possible if you lie like they do on the Russian TV. For the very first time, Ukrainian defenders managed to intercept a Russian gliding bomb. According to the reports, in the area of Zaporizhia, one of the gliding bombs has been successfully intercepted for the very first time using a pretty old anti-aircraft machine gun Zu-23-2. This machine gun was modified into an advanced automated anti-air system. I have some footage showing this system being used against drones, and as you can see, the footage itself has been made approximately in the summer last year during the field tests. And now we have a good confirmation that it finally works. And speaking of the nasty Russian gliding bombs, they were extremely hard to intercept. Detection of such bombs wasn't really hard, according to all kinds of sources. The gliding bombs can be easily detected even using the older Soviet radars. However, Ukrainian defenders faced two problems, one of them being the reaction time, and second, the cost of intercepting such bomb. Fact is, the Russians produce plenty of those bombs on a monthly basis, and using expensive missiles against them would not be reasonable. Also, existing anti-air guns lacked effective range to be able to intercept them. But luckily now we have a new inspiring innovation that perfectly fits the niche and will hopefully protect many Ukrainian lives. Meanwhile, in Moscovia, a chief of the Russian Roscosmos got fired. The sources in the Russian media reported that Yuri Borisov, chief of the Russian Air and Space Agency Roscosmos, got fired because of a number of failures that hit the Russian defense sector over and over again. One of those failures was related to the Russian nuclear missile Sarmat that was supposed to replace the old Soviet missile Satan, but during the recent tests it failed to take off and exploded in the silo. Now remember Oreshnik, that mighty Russian missile used only once against the country houses in Dnipro. So it's the same story. The Russian troops were supposed to be equipped with those missiles as of this moment, and Oreshnik basically remained a weapon of mass disinformation, as you probably remember. But frankly speaking, I don't think Yuri Borisov will be devastated with this decision to fire him from the position. I mean, Russia is in the top 40 most corrupted countries of the world. I bet the dude is now possibly as rich as Elon Musk. And speaking of Elon Musk, the conqueror of the Red Planet reposted a ridiculous fake on his account on Twitter. Again, the fake was published on behalf of the media outlet called L News. In this fake, it was said that the USAID program was paying celebrities like Angelina Jolie or Ben Stiller for visiting Ukraine. Ben Stiller reacted to this fake, stating that he paid from his own pocket to visit Ukraine and never received any additional funding from the US. Also, fun fact, it turned out that you will not find this publication at the L News official page because L News have never posted it. Later, several investigators, including the founder of Bellingcat, noticed that Russians have launched a new network of bots called Matryoshka that is actively spreading disinformation in the social media, including Blue Sky and X. Thanks to Elon Musk, the Russian fake gained the whopping 13 million views, and I think it's one of the biggest achievements of Kremlin since Tenet Media. The donkeys in the Russian army. Oh my god, I really don't know how to comment this. I mean, okay, at first it was kind of funny, but then we started noticing more and more footage showing Russian invaders utilizing donkeys on the front line. I mean, we do know that the Russians are depleting their stockpiles. It's a well-known fact, and I was joking about it literally just a couple of videos ago. But look at this crap, seriously, what the hell? My jokes will never be funny anymore. Honestly, I don't even know what to add here, my friends. I wish you all a beautiful day, please share this episode, and traditionally, I will see you in the commentaries. I'm operator Starsky, as always, be safe.